Well, hello, my beautiful Librans. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with a little bonus reading all about you. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Just to make you aware, the frequencies of the earth are changing at this present time. You probably can all feel it. Well, that means that the Tibetan symbols that I normally use may not be as palatable as they used to be to the ears. Now, we become more sensitive and open to the vibrations during this time. So I did source a softer frequency to prepare and cleanse your reading. I'm using the Gaia chimes to cleanse hourly. So please be mindful and turn down your volume if you're someone who is sensitive to sound. Okay, so let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Librans, this is a little bonus reading all about you. Us tarot readers, we tend to focus on career, money, love, but we never ask, how are you doing? So this reading is going to tap into what's going on with you at this moment in time, how you're moving through this time period, and what lies on the other side. So let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Librans? What do they need to know regarding their current situation? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What do they need to be aware of at this time? Can you please show them the way? Well, your first card there is the Knight of Swords. So major lifestyle changes. I definitely see here that you are adapting to something, or you have a new way of behaving because something within you has changed. Now, also that Knight of Swords can indicate you're very busy at this time. And we also have that Four of Wands. It's a crossing card there. So it can indicate that some of you feel a bit separate from a certain situation that you once loved. Okay, now also some of you may literally be contemplating some sort of move in your life, separating from things that perhaps once brought you joy, or you feel you've outgrown in some way. I definitely see some sort of distance or detachment. Now, this is something that is happening with the collective at this moment in time. I'm noticing a shift. So this can be that you are responding differently to circumstances, you're outgrowing situations, people, or it can indicate that there is a time of change in your life and you are like responding to things in a very different way. I feel like things are speeding up for you in some way, especially since you've got the Chariot card there as well. We've got the Eight of Wands and we got the Chariot card. So there's a lot of movement going on. So a lot of you, there may be this sense of time speeding up, or you feel like, you know, there's not enough time in the day for some of you with that Eight of Wands. That's a very fast energy, as well as that Chariot. But I feel something is long overdue, that you feel it's necessary to change. Now, the Moon card is there, so it can indicate you're not sure how things are headed. You may be questioning a lot of things right now and feeling a bit uncertain about the future, but I do see that you are on a trajectory towards, you know, your destination, as it were, or to an end point that you see as a goal, something that perhaps you've been locked on as, you know, a goal or something you're dedicated to. I definitely see you have the willpower and the tenacity to move through any changes or any worries or fears there. But I do see a flurry of activity in your life. Now, of course, I'll tap into each card as I get to it, but you got the Nine of Cups, and that's in your near future. So I would say there's some really good things to come. You're going to feel very fulfilled, but the position you're at right now It's like you're guarded. You may feel that you have to protect your position or, protect everything that you worked really hard for. A lot of you are cutting out things from your past. It's like you're a new person. And I feel there is this energy of being in fight or flight mode for some of you. So you may have felt that, perhaps there is change afoot and you're not sure of the trajectory of the world right now, perhaps because we have that moon energy, and this can be an overarching governing energy. So you may feel that there is a perceived threat in this change, or you're not sure how things are going to work out. And it's like you're being vigilant at this time, waiting and watching, but also preparing in some way. So, that's something that's coming out. This may not resonate with everyone. I have to honor the energy that's coming out there. We've got a 2 of Swords. We've also got a 3 of Swords and a 2 of Pentacles. Now, I'm going to go one more just to clarify that 2 of Pentacles energy, because 2 of Pentacles can mean you have remained flexible in these changes, that you've got a lot on your plate right now, you're multitasking, but also it can indicate that you're in a period of, I was going to say making a decision, thinking about something, and we've got the Judgment card. So this can be that you're judging a situation, or for some of you, you may feel judged. You may feel that no matter what you do, it's never enough, or you feel someone has been very critical or judging you or not supportive in some way, and you're unsure about the trajectory of this person or the relationship with this person. I mean, looking at the overarching energy for all of you, I just see that you're very cerebral at this time. You have a lot on your mind. You have so many swords here. Okay, and King of Swords can indicate that, you are someone who is a bit of a pro at your life. And what I mean by that is, you're commanding with thoughts and you're taking action on things. But also, I feel a lot of you are exhausted or tired, and you're just like, you've had to kind of like show up for your life every single day, which is fine. But at the same time, it's like, when did it get so hard? Okay, because you do have the 3 of Swords here and the 2 of Swords. Some of you may feel like you're either rooted to the spot or in the same situation for a long time, and you're like, does it ever change? However, there's other changes that you're having to adapt to, and maybe they're not the changes that you're hoping for, but I feel like you're moving through something, judging it, and we've got the King of Cups. So, I mean, interesting that we've got the King of Swords and the King of Cups. So this can literally be aspects of self that you've been feeling a little bit detached, or for some of you, disassociated. And I'm actually getting this with the collective right now. It's like, when we remove ourselves from situations and we start being really logical and observant about what's going on in the world, what's going on in our own personal lives, all the different layers, we start to see through things or see patterns and start to really kind of like dissect or kind of like be really decisive about decisions and realize we have to make a decision now. Or, when you're going to that King of Cups energy, it can be that you've been feeling this disassociation or this observant energy where you feel like either you've been in fight or flight mode, or you've been like stuck in a stalemate position in life where nothing seems to be moving. However, there's still a flurry of activity, and it can feel that some of you, it's like, this isn't my life anymore, or this isn't how life was, or, with that King of Cups, it's telling me that you are going to fall back in love with your life again, or a part of you that perhaps the emotional side of you, you've put to the side to make a decision right now, but ultimately, whenever you make that decision, you're going to love it, because there is a sensitivity here. These are aspects of self, because this reading is all about you. I mean, there's 2 people here as well, 2 kings, and I would say the Knight of Swords is your starting position. So it could be that you're looking at some sort of relationship dynamic. This could be in your friendship circle or family or even neighbors or in your working environment. So it can be the nature of relationships that you're looking at right now, and your connectedness to people, or you're outgrowing certain situations or people at this time. But I'm going to initially take these 2 kings as different aspects of self. Your starting card there is the Knight of Swords. And as you can see, that knight is ready for anything. So some of you may be at this time looking at a nature of trauma or some sort of experience that was really hard to deal with and put you in fight or flight mode. Okay, now a lot of you, this can be the nature of change in the world. It's like, what's next? What's next on the bingo card of this crazy world that we live in? So some of you could feel a heightened sense of vigilance, or, this need to be ready to respond in different ways. And it may be raising cortisol levels or stress levels at this time. So some of you could be looking at that and looking at the triggers in your life as well. But let's bring this back to you, because the Knight of Swords literally means that you're making some changes and you're being brutal. You may be drawing a line in the sand with some things that you've dealt with for a long time, and you're saying enough. That's it. You're done. And a lot of the signs in the collective are getting the same cards. I mean, I'm shuffling the cards and a lot of this is coming out. So this Knight of Swords, you're looking at some lifestyle changes right now. Life is pretty fast paced is what I see. There's a flurry of activity in your life, but you're a warrior when you get this card, can indicate that you've been through some stuff. You've been through some personal battles there. And it can indicate that also you are preempting that you're going to get more of the same, whether that's chaos, whether that's like challenge. But actually I see in your future, because this is the outcome energy, you've got the King of Cups, you're going to love the way things turn out. The Judgment card can be that, yes, you're shedding some things in order to aspire to something more that you've been hoping to achieve. And that Nine of Cups tells me that there is a wish fulfillment here. You feel very proud of yourself for taking some necessary steps, but it all starts with a thought. It all starts with a decision and a first step. So this is a very goal-oriented night. So it means that you're locked onto something, and you may also be in two minds about something, because there's a lot of kind of duality cards here. So we have that Chariot card. Things could go either way. I mean, we've got that Four of Wands. It's in the crossing position. And in the upright, this can be that you feel connected to certain things. You want to stick around, enjoy it, be in the company of people who you've allowed into your inner circle. But also, because of the position of this card, you read it in the reverse as well. So it can indicate that you're in a period of letting go of things that don't vibe with you anymore. But also, it can be that you feel distance between things that you used to love. Maybe things that you used to do just don't hit in the same way anymore, and you're trying to locate what changed. There could be something that you used to really love doing, but it doesn't feel like the same hit that you're getting from that. That's something that I've got coming through here. But also, I feel this is a card of challenge, responding to challenges, always being locked onto your responsibilities and being in that flurry of activity. And the Four of Wands, it can indicate that you want to spend more time with your nearest and dearest. It can indicate, a desire to reunite with a part of yourself or return to a time where you felt truly happy. And I feel this uncertainty with that moon hanging over the spread. There are some fears here that perhaps you have for the future, maybe for you and your nearest and dearest, your family. You have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. You're someone who's ride or die. You'd protect the people that you care about in like a heartbeat. So I feel there is this energy of perhaps when it comes to the world that you feel you need to prepare for something, or you feel that there's a constant state of activity right now where it's throwing everybody into this kind of like flight or fight mode, this eggshell walking kind of mode. But I also feel with this Nine of Cups, there is this energy of you recognizing that you want to zoom in more to the things that make you feel fulfilled, because life is short. So this is your life and you're holding the pen, which is writing the story of your life. So I feel a lot of you are reclaiming power with this King of Cups and this King of Swords. I also feel a lot of you are having ideas and thoughts and, ways of changing your life that are going to benefit you. But this Four of Wands, it's a card of success and accomplishment. So a lot of you could be working really hard to accomplish something at this time. I mean, it could literally be that you're trying to move home or sell a home, for example, and it's hard and there's always a flurry of activity. You may have to make allowances for people to come around and view, or, you go and view property, for example. So please apply it to your situation, because I'm just getting this energy of like you detaching in some way and kind of like almost like factoring in the alternative in your life. So this could play out in your life in many different ways. For example, the Four Wands in this position, it can indicate some level of conflict between you and a person, someone who is really close to you. This could be a partner. This could be, a family member. This could be a soul tribe member, whoever this person is or whatever this situation is, some of you are like, you're ready to act, but also you're kind of like, should I stay? Should I go? Should I keep this situation playing out in my life, or should I just stop it in its tracks? And I feel like you are in this like brutal kind of stage of your life where you're being very like precise about what it is. You're having the courage to face something, whether it's a very important conversation or, you know, this Four Wands actually indicates as well that something that you will succeed in or you will celebrate as a success, which is literally a milestone. You know, I feel it hasn't arrived in your life right now, and you're uncertain as to whether it's going to show up for you. For some of you, it could be like you're wondering, will you ever be in a relationship, get engaged, settle down, be in love? You know, for some of you, it could be, will you ever get that promotion? Will you have enough money? Will you be stable? You know, will you have confidence in yourself? Will you move through a testing time? Whatever it is, I definitely see here that you're kind of like not in no man's land, okay? Because this card is kind of like right now having to make a decision. Okay, because this is about moving away from conflict, eradicating drama, but at the same time, it's reuniting with people that bring joy. So I do see this kind of like healing of rifts in friendships or relationships. You know, don't always have to be romantic in nature, but also I feel there is a creative part of yourself that perhaps you've put to the side, or even this spark. You know, because Four Wands is all about passion. It's about celebrating yourself. It's about getting out there and choosing a certain lifestyle that brings you joy, connecting to music, for example, you know, go out dancing, whatever it is that brings you joy or pleasure. For some of you, you may feel there's just not enough of that at the moment because you have so much responsibility and there's always a flurry of activity and it just leaves you exhausted or depleted. And then it's like a cycle of repeat. Okay, with that Three of Swords and the Two of Swords, you may feel like you have to make a decision about something that is hurting you or not fulfilling you at this time. You're trying to cut something out. It's been on your mind for a while. Now, this could literally be a substance. It doesn't have to be a person. It could be that you want to take ownership of your life and move away from something that has been addictive or perhaps has been not conducive to you moving forward or doesn't support you in a positive way. For example, I am getting an energy for some of you, not all of you, but if you're already in a relationship and you're wanting to commit to a deeper level in your relationship, you may be wondering, is your partner ever going to pop the question, or is there ever going to be like an official kind of ceremony where you dedicate yourselves to each other? You may be thinking it's a long time. Nothing's happening right now with that Two of Swords and that Three of Swords, and it can be something that perhaps you want. Now, please apply it to your situation. It's going to be different for everybody, but I do feel here there's something that you have wanted that you feel has not been showing up for you. And, you know, you will get this thing, whatever this thing is, because the Nine of Cups tells me it shall be yours. Whatever you're focused on, the wish, you know, will be fulfilled here. This is an achievement of desire, and this is, you know, the actual reward for the hard work or, you know, whatever it is that you feel would satisfy you. And a lot of you, this can be about your thoughts, your expression, you know, how you express yourself. Some of you may be returning to music that you used to listen to reignite this spark and remember who you are. I'm just getting this energy of remember who you are. So even if you have been someone who is a parent, for example, you could feel that you've lost some identity or you have put a part of yourself on hold in order to guide the next generation. It can be that you feel that that part of yourself that you have not sacrificed, I don't want to say that, but you feel is on hold where, you know, perhaps listening to certain music or partying or, you know, not having the responsibilities. It doesn't always have to be about parenthood. It can be that, you know, you're locked into certain responsibilities now and you feel you have to honor those duties and you don't feel as free as perhaps you did before. So I just get this kind of like, what should I do about this? I need to make a decision because I feel either you're sitting on the fence with something here or there's something that's hurting you because the Three of Swords is in the hope and the fear position. Some of you are hoping for healing on something. So I would say that a lot of you could be trying to cut something out or a person or a situation that has triggered you or been a negative influence in your life and you are trying to take ownership of that. Now, Again, it's not going to resonate with everyone, but I do see here you taking control of the reins of your life. The Chariot card indicates that you are in self-control mode. You are progressing. Sometimes, actually, when you're in the flurry of activity, we don't see the measure of progress because you're in it. You're in the mix of it. Okay, so you could be trying to accomplish something and it just feels like you're in the same place. No matter what you do, it's just the same. And you're like, does it ever change? Well, the answer is yes, and it will change there for you. The Chariot card indicates you're going places. There's some sort of movement and improvement in your life. But in order for that to take place, you need to let go or change your approach on something. So I would say a decision needs to be made. Whoever I'm picking up on here. And the Chariot card is trust the process. You know, this is a card of victory. Everything you've worked for, including all of these obstacles that you may have faced, you'll overcome. And it's now part of your story. And this is aiding you to move on to the next. Now, for some of you, because there's a lot of travel cards in your reading, okay? We've got the Knight of Swords, we've got the Chariot card, and the Eight of Wands. Some of you may be thinking about moving, or you've moved to a place and you're thinking about moving again, for some of you. There is this energy of feeling a little bit uncertain about the next move in your life. Now, this could be literally a step. It could be you moving to a new neighborhood, new country, new part of the state, for example, or it could be that you're changing jobs, or maybe a relationship has changed. Something has changed here, and I feel like you're kind of like distancing yourself from it, but I feel you're headed towards a destination that will bring you greater joy. Okay, but because the moon is present, it can indicate there's some worry, or you may be kind of like trying to sort through the information. Maybe all the information is not readily available, or you haven't found what you're searching for at this time, because I'm getting this energy of what you're searching for is searching for you, which means the vibration is out there for you to accomplish it, but you have to lock into it. And that requires you making a decision. Okay, so I'm just going to move away from the energy because, again, it's pulling me outside of your energy. It's something that you want to accomplish or something that perhaps you want to do. Whenever you decide it is the right moment to do it, you're going to make that decision. And, you know, the Judgment card is the final decision. It's almost like you locked onto your sense of purpose. And when you make that decision, you're going to love it. The King of Cups tells me your heart is going to swell with joy, peace, serenity, and there's a lot of good fortune connected to this decision that you make. But let's bring it back to self. The Chariot card can indicate you trying to exert a level of self-control about a direction that you're heading in at this moment in time. It can feel sometimes like you're scattered because you have a lot on your plate. So prioritizing is important. I mean, there's a lot of very fast activity energy here. Eight of Wands, Knight of Swords, and the Chariot indicates a lot of you may feel that life has really just sped up and there's just not enough time in the day. Maybe not enough time to spend with your friends or family for some of you, and you're feeling the pressure is on and you want to kind of like downsize activities in order to spend more time with people that you really care about. So that is an energy that's coming through here. You are going to be able to find that balance, okay? Now, this card is a card of ambition. So it means that you're dedicating yourself to something, you're going to move forward on it, but also because it is opposing the moon, and the moon is all about worries or the uncertainty of life, or perhaps knowing where you want to end up as a destination, but not really sure about the path on how to get there. You know, the Chariot card can indicate that you're bringing your worries into review and you're not allowing them to stifle you. You're going to be leaving an old part of yourself or an old kind of like part of life behind, but you're moving forward. There is movement and improvement here for you. And, you know, this card can indicate that you're thinking about your destiny right now. I feel like a lot of you have had personal wins. You're someone who's already established in life at what you do. You're a very gifted and talented person, but you may feel there's just the nature of change going on around you, whether that's the world changing and you feel some things are a little bit like not like they used to be, okay? Because that Four of Wands can be that you kind of knew where you were at. You know, it feels like the goalposts are literally moving when you have the Four of Wands in this position. Because if you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, you know, the Four of Wands, there's two people, they're celebrating in the middle of this, castle, and there's 4 wands there. They look like 1111, so soul path number, but also they look like goalposts. And you may feel that things are shifting. The pressure is on, and you may be contemplating your next move and adjusting your next move according to the changes that you're preempting at this time. And it can feel like just when you make some changes, there's some other changes that come along. So it can just feel like it's a lot, almost like you're on the treadmill of life and it just feels like it's never ending. However, you're still in the same place. Okay, that's something that's coming through. And again, it may not resonate with all of you, but I definitely see movement here. You could apply this to any area of your life. For example, if you're someone who's in a career, it can indicate that there hasn't been some opportunities to move recently or level up, but there are opportunities coming on in, and you may have to make a decision in the future about leveling up. I would say here that some of you are moving into a new role that kind of has the same status, but at the same time, you're going to love the new role a lot more than the one you're at right now, because the one you're at right now may feel a little bit like isolating, or you may feel there's a lot of drama there. You just may feel that actually somehow you just don't fit in that, because the King of Swords is a very detached energy. So it's almost like you're on autopilot, just doing what you're doing. And then the King of Cups is more involved, more like, excited about things, throwing themselves into the whole thing because it's new, it's exciting. So it can be that, you're trying new things at this time. And for some of you, it can also be that you feel a need to detach from an environment or a person or a situation. And you're just thinking about the next steps, because I feel like you're in the planning stages of something with that King of Swords. That's the strategy. But on the other side of this moon, which tends to represent fear or uncertainty or just not seeing the whole kind of picture, there is everything you ever dreamed of. So whatever that means for you, I definitely see here you're going to be making some really great decisions in the future, and some of you are going to wonder why you didn't do it before. That's something that's coming out. Now, in the past position, we got the 8 of Wands, and it's in the past position, so it can indicate that, things were reaching a climax, or things looked like they were heading in a certain direction, but you may feel there was some sort of setback, because that 4 Wands is your crossing card, and the 4 Wands could be a milestone, okay? For some of you, this could be literally about energy. 4 Wands can be that you reach a certain milestone in life, and then you started noticing creaks in your body, for example. Maybe you had more vitality or energy in the past. This doesn't have to be about age. This can be about circumstances. It may feel heavy because you're an empath and you're picking up the energy of the world and the people around you. And, something happened a couple of years ago that really kind of like robbed some people of a sparkle. It changed the way that we look at the world and what goes on in it, for example. So a lot of you could be adjusting in those ways, and it just feels like things that you used to love hit different, or that spark is somehow different. Now, again, this may not resonate with all of you, but I feel a lot of you, it's always been busy. You always like to keep yourself busy. We've got that Knight of Swords. This is your starting position in this moment right now. And then we've got that 8 of Wands from the past position. You're always on the move, always on the go. You're someone who basically is committed to change right now in some area of your life. You've promised yourself, and the energy is speeding up somehow, or maybe things are too fast and you want to fall in love with your life a little bit more. I feel some of you, it's like you want to travel abroad. There's so many things that you want to do, and it can indicate that there's just never enough time to do it right now. So I feel like you're making some adjustments. This could literally be a schedule adjustment, or some of you could be deciding to conduct your life in a different way, change your actual time schedule so you have more time for you, or you approach things in just a completely 180 kind of different viewpoint, and it just works so much better. Because I feel like you work it out, whatever it is. Now, of course, this may not resonate with everyone, but I just got this energy here of you kind of making some big changes, cutting something out that perhaps has been hindering you or hurting you. When you have the Judgment card, especially with the Moon card, it can indicate that you're bringing your life into review. You're reflecting on something. And, this is a very transformational card. It means you're going through a period of metamorphosis. You're looking at your shadow self, all the things that are not working in your life. You're not lying to yourself. You're being really honest to yourself right now. And you're saying, okay, this is something that I've wanted to change for a long time. Whether it is how you conduct yourself with a person, or whether it is a personal development change, I feel like you're about it at this time. And, with that Judgment card, when you bring your life into review, it basically means you're opening up the subconscious mind, because the moon is all about the subconscious mind, and you're asking questions like, what did I learn from yesterday that I can employ in my life today? How can I set myself up in terms of stability now so that my future self will be proud of me? So I feel a lot of you are kind of like asking bigger questions. But in those bigger questions, there is this answer of you can let go of the thing that is hurting you. You can stop the thing that is triggering you. You can move away or distance yourself from the thing that doesn't feel fulfilling or is dissatisfying. I feel a lot of you, because this is a control card with that Chariot, I feel like some of you are stepping up to lead a little bit more in your life or take control of a situation that has felt very uncertain or muddied. Okay, so it can be literally a person has made you feel a little bit unsure about your relationship or friendship. It can indicate that there's been some sort of confusion here. I mean, some of you, it could be like, I'm so confused as to how I got to this position, where there's a lot of stress, where, my cortisol levels are really high, or I always feel like there's a perceived threat, or I always feel like I'm on eggshells in fight or flight mode. This could be something that either is from childhood or something you experienced in your life, for example, to date, on the journey that you've experienced till right now. And it may be something you need to look at, process, and cathartically let go of, because the moon is an ebb and flow of emotions. To really sort through the kind of like shadow self, become aware of the emotions that perhaps are weighing you down, and let go of those things. But also it can be the nature of the world and how it's changed and how everything just feels really heavy and uncertain, and you may be trying to find your place in this, and it just feels like you're extra sensitive or you are extra vigilant. And the moon is a fear card, and because it is in a very governing position in your reading, it can indicate that you have a heightened sensitivity to something right now, and it doesn't just have to be about fear or the world or relationships. It can be that you have a heightened sensitivity to a substance, for example, or to sound, or to, overthinking. Flurry of activity, the Knight of Swords, you can be a little bit critical on yourself sometimes. So I feel like you're kind of like calling yourself into review at this time, and you have a lot on your mind, as well as a lot on your to-do list. But this Nine of Cups, it tells me that you should be really proud of yourself, and you're going to be even more proud of yourself in the future. It's like you conquer something, you're a warrior, you're facing something, you're stepping up, you're making a decision, and you're making the right decisions for you there as well. The Nine of Cups literally means a dream is coming true for you, and it's not just about money, or it's not just about comfort. It means that you're going to look at how you've conducted yourself and feel content. Some of you, it could be that you want to meet soul tribe members, Four Wands can be that you want things to return to a time where it just felt easier, where things just felt like they fit or they were right in some way. A lot of you are going to return to, things that you used to love doing, whether they were artistic, whether it was a place, whether it was friendships. I feel you reconnecting all over the place here. And some of you, you're going to get really involved in your community in some way. And I definitely see there's going to be very tight friendships in the future there for you as well. So if you have been feeling a little bit isolated, because 8 is the number of the self, and you may feel that, time is like ticking on by, and there is this energy of you thinking, well, I'm still in the same place somehow, or things have not changed. So you are being the catalyst for change in some area of your life, and now you're integrating or getting more involved, or almost like coming out of hermit mode for some of you, of course. Don't get me wrong, I definitely feel that a lot of you have been like showing up for your life, doing all the duties, responsibilities, activities. But this Nine of Cups, it can indicate that you discover the missing piece or the holy grail of contentment in some way, and your hard work is paying off And hard work doesn't mean career. It can be that you're investing in yourself, nourishing yourself in a different way, or being successful in something. There's an achievement here, something that you've stepped up to complete, and you did this all by yourself, whatever this is. Okay? Now, of course, this is emotional fulfillment as well. It can indicate harmony. It's a very positive card because it means, that dreams can come true. And a lot of you with that Knight of Swords, you have a flurry of activity in your mind, especially because we got the Four of Wands there. That can indicate that there's just this energy about being in the right place. I'm just getting this energy of preparing as well. Four of Wands, if you look at the meaning of the card, it can indicate that you're preparing for something, or you don't want to get caught off guard, or you feel like, I don't know how to describe that energy that I've got coming through. The Knight of Swords, you can see this knight is literally like ready for anything. However, with that Four of Wands in the crossing position, it's like, did I prepare for everything? Have I got everything? It's like, when you do a checklist before you go on a vacation. Some of you could literally be in that energy right now, like, I'm sure I've forgotten something. And then suddenly you realize when you get halfway to the airport, it's your passport or your visa or something like that, So I just feel like there's nothing missing when you get to the destination. I feel like you thought of everything. You're prepared for every eventuality. And you're someone who's very flexible. So this Nine of Cups, I feel, you should be really proud of yourself. And there is good fortune heading in your direction, but I feel more than anything, you are commanding yourself to that direction. So it really does connect that what you want wants you, because I feel like two forces align because it's right. Okay? Now, this can also indicate that it's hard to strive for a life of comfort, a life of ease. I mean, I don't think life gets easier for anybody, really. It's about how you ride that wave of life. You do hear about like millionaires talking online saying, money doesn't bring happiness. And you're like, well, it affords you stability not to worry about things like bills and things like that. So to some degree, finances are important, of course. We'd all love to be millionaires and billionaires, but also we give back. The Four of Wands there indicates you're a person who always gives back in some way. And I feel like you're someone who is lovable, kind. You have a lot of healing properties about you as well. But I feel for some of you with that Four of Wands, something hasn't been fair. Or something has been kind of like out of balance, but you're readdressing this balance, whatever that balance is. For some of you, because there's a lot of like swords here, I mean, you've got a King of Cups and a Nine of Cups. I mean, for some of you, hydration is important. That's coming through there. So it could be that you've been dehydrated, and this has kind of like made an impact on your thoughts. So if you are someone who is perhaps talking to a practitioner, a health practitioner at this time, it can indicate, and I don't know this as a fact, so please fact check me on this, okay? But I'm being given this energy of like when your body actually goes into dehydration, it will absorb liquid, for example, in the brain area first, or the brain gets like impacted pretty much first. Again, fact check me on that. I'm not someone who knows about that, but that's something that's coming through, okay? So it can be that for some of you, you are exhausted, depleted. You may have felt a little bit like cloudy in your thoughts because you're dehydrated, but also it could be that you're going through some change in your body, because the Knight of Swords, it can indicate that there are some adjustments going on. And the Moon card, it's like things are cloudy, or you have brain fog sometimes because you have so many swords here, Three of Swords. Sometimes perhaps it's hard to find a word for something or a sentence, or you stop midway and you're like, oh, what was I talking about? Or you feel a bit cloudy. It could indicate either dehydration or even a vitamin deficiency that you will get on top of that will help you. So it could be something like really connected to your body in some way, because we have this very grounding energy of that judgment card right there, like weighing up a situation, judging it, perhaps getting clarity on something. I mean, you're going from the Moon, which is a very sort of like confusion energy or a muddied energy or kind of like an uncertain energy, and the Judgment is like seeing clearly. Suddenly you're like locked on and the vision is clear, you're making a decision, it's the right decision. But also the Moon card, it can be that, there is a struggle, an inner battle maybe about independence, about wanting to do your own thing, spending time away from people you spend a lot of time with, for example, to go solo, do something. But also, if you think about the nature of the moon card, there's normally a wolf and a dog on it. And the wolf is all about independence, going off, doing your own thing, exploring new pathways. And then, of course, the dog is all about what you know. It's about stability. It's about comfort. It's about being dedicated to the people that you love. You can do both, okay, to be fulfilled. But I feel some of you may have had a bit of an inner battle where you feel like you should be with people or kind of like enjoy the moment, but also there's something else you want to go off and do, and you can split your time between the two. So some of you may be dealing with that because the Nine of Cups is like the most beneficial outcome for you. Now, in your advice to yourself in this moment, the King of Swords is basically to command your thoughts. So a lot of you, it can be that your thoughts hurt you sometimes because you're a little bit critical, especially when you're under pressure. So I definitely see here that there is like a little nudge to shift any negative self-talk, to have more compassion with yourself. But also this can be a call to have faith and think more about possibilities, because I feel, there is this energy of moving from fear to possibility. That's literally what these two cards mean. The Nine of Cups and the Moon is to move from fear to possibility. And thoughts really do become things. So, we do live in a very chaotic world right now, so it's very hard to remain positive when there are certain things going on in the world. I totally get that. And I feel a lot of you with that Knight of Swords energy, I feel like you are trying to defend your inner peace at this time. And that King of Swords energy can indicate that you have a plan or a strategy, or you're trying to create some sort of order in your life right now. And it's hard, but you're actually in a really powerful position to see clearly. You're very intelligent, you're very smart, and I feel like you will make the right decisive decisions for you. And, the Judgment card actually connects to the King of Swords because it is to judge a situation and know that it will work out for your highest good. Okay, the King of Swords is to know. And I feel a lot of you, this is about believing in yourself, backing yourself, having confidence in yourself. And, this card, it can be that you are trying to make a decision and you're removing like an emotional aspect of it. That you're trying to think logically about a situation, get all the facts. Probably that's why I just said fact check me on things. I never really say things like that. It's always important to do that though. But I just get this energy of reason, intellect, okay? But you've got a King of Cups here. If you're making any decision, head and heart, important. Both can like coexist. Because of course, I always say this, following your heart is so important, because if you only follow your head, your heart will continue to whisper and get louder and louder, and basically you end up changing your mind and following your heart. So can the two coexist? The answer is yes, because you got the Chariot card here, which means you can make a decision based on your emotions and on the logic and the facts. So with this King of Swords, I feel like you're taking command on something here. Now also, this is a card of international links. So some of you, because there's so many like travel cards here, I cannot ignore the fact that some of you may be thinking about moving or relocating, and some of you may be even thinking about being abroad. If you feel that there is some uncertainty going on in the area that you live or the country that you live in, this is actually a major energy that is coming out for the collective. Where do I belong? What other countries are doing certain things? Is there a shift? Do I belong where I am right now? Do I feel like it's the right place to be? So I just get this energy in your reading as well. And these may be just thoughts. You're thinking about you and your family. You're thinking about where you belong, where you will get the best opportunities to thrive and, enjoy life. So I feel a lot of you may be thinking about these things right now because you are very cerebral. This is a very deep thought card, okay? Lots of thought forms here, especially with that Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is an energy outside of yourself because it's in the position of circumstances outside of yourself. So it can indicate right now you're called for pause in order to think. Okay, Two of Swords is a stalemate energy to consider your options. So what I see in this reading, no matter what your circumstances, I'm just giving you some examples. So please apply it to your situation. But I feel a lot of you are like on the precipice of making a major decision in your life, and you're deep in thought. You don't want to make a wrong move. Nobody does. And you may feel it's uncertain, and you may feel a little bit worried about, the move that you make. But I see here with that Nine of Cups, you're going to wish that you did it sooner, but the energy says don't rush it. Okay? Think it through. Make sure that you have, done your due diligence. Make sure you've really decided before you move forward. Two of Swords is basically get clear in your mind and take a moment of silence, a peaceful state of mind. The answers will come to you. But also, in the Two of Swords, you may feel the circumstances outside of yourself are not yielding any opportunities to move or have any growth. So again, please apply it to your situation. This could be to your neighborhood, could be to a relationship, could be to a job, country, whatever it is. It just feels like you are in the same position. Okay, and you're really thinking about this, because I don't see that you're making a compromise. I see that you're making a decision. Okay, Two of Swords is also a need to not ignore problems or not ignore something that has been whispering at you for some time, something that keeps popping into your mind, because your body is giving you a signal. And, even your guides are whispering, look, you need to think about this. Whenever you have a random thought that pops in there, you have got like a mind that is like a supercomputer. Knight of Swords energy, it indicates that you have an incredible mind and you have lots of thoughts a mile a minute. But when you silence this flurry of activity in your mind, Four Wands can be to get out of the home space, spend time in nature, for example, then you will start to really see what the mind is trying to tell you. Now, the mind, of course, very detached from the body. They are separate entities, even though they coexist. So we're not going to get into that in this reading, but I do feel here that you are locating where there is a flurry of activity and thoughts that is connected to fear-based ego, which we all have. Ego is lots of different aspects of that, but it can be that you're identifying what you truly want to do and what will truly make you happy when you quieten the mind. That is why that King of Swords is quietening the mind, is taking command of thoughts. So you may be about to do something really monumental. Move into a promotion, move into a different lifestyle, level up in life. And you may be feeling nervous about that. You may be feeling, okay, I'm in a uncharted territory kind of situation right now. Where is this leading to? I don't know. But the moon says there is some other things being orchestrated behind the scenes, and you're not meant to see these things right now, but trust the process. Use your intuition, get the facts, make a decision based on logic and how you feel, and then you will be set up to achieve and accomplish anything that you set out to do or manifest what is your heart's desire. So I feel with this Two of Swords, it's asking you to slow down, because your Knight of Swords energy is a flurry of activity, where the Two of Swords is like, take stock. Just pause. Okay, sometimes the universe asks us to stay in the same place for a moment, and that moment can feel like forever sometimes, but, to pause in order to get clear or work out the next move on something. This card, as I mentioned, is peace of mind. It is to protect the peace of mind. If you actually know the Two of Swords from the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, it is about looking at mental conflict and, looking at the truth of what robs you of joy or peace of mind. And it can be that, you are called to protect that inner peace at this moment in time. But also the Two of Swords can be a reconciliation between people, and you have two people here. So I would say for some of you, if you have fallen out with somebody or a relationship is outgrowing, this doesn't have to have happened recently. This could have happened like many years ago or months ago, for example. Can you reconcile? The answer is yes, but it is a process, and it is one that I feel will start to take place quite soon, okay? I feel the Four of Wands is a reunion energy, but what I see with that Nine of Cups is you have to fulfill your own needs first so that you can then step up to heal a relationship from a very balanced energy, so that you're not overgiving or accepting less than you truly deserve in a relationship. Okay, you know, I feel if you've fallen out with someone or there is an evolving where a relationship is distancing, I feel you're called right now to spend more time prioritizing your own needs, to draw a line and say, I'm not accepting this anymore. The Three of Swords, something's hurting. Okay, for some of you, this could be grief as well. So I'm sending you a huge hug out there, so much love, because the Four of Wands, it can indicate that you've detached physically from something, perhaps, but the memory still remains. So if you have been going through a period of grief, I'm sending you so much love, so much hugs out there. I'm being given a random thing in the water as a sign. This is not going to resonate with everyone, of course, but I'm just going to give you what I can see. I'm not here to advertise anybody's brand, so I'm not going to mention a brand, but I'm seeing candy, like, you know, chocolate or some sort of candy sweets bar type thing. That's what I'm seeing in the water. So maybe this is something that if you have had a person who is very close to you, they've transitioned or passed away, maybe their little treat to you or their little like unconditional love sign was to always be very thoughtful and buy you that candy or that brand of sweet or chocolate or whatever it is that you loved. It was like a little token of affection to say, you know what, I was out and about just doing my shopping and I thought about you and I got you that bar or I got you that sweet or whatever it is. Okay, so that's just coming through. So I'm just being given that. So I'm going to leave that with a lot of love and respect that's just come through, and I'm going to disconnect from that energy. But this is a hope and a fear position, okay? And the Three of Swords is the hope and a fear. Something is either hurting right now and you fear that it will be like long-standing, or it can be that you're about to do something and you feel that it has the potential to not go well in some way. You know, threes can be when you're engineering a plan or when you're trying to do something, build something, but it's hard. Okay, so I'm just going to pull a quick card on that Three of Swords energy, because what I'm getting from this card for a lot of you is that there is a silver lining in letting go of something that feels heavy right now or something that has been challenging you. You can just let it go is what I'm being given. So let me just pull a quick card on that. Three of Swords in that position. Of course, you read it in the upright and the reverse. And the reverse of this card is to heal. It is to find peace after something that was challenging. It is, you know, to either physically heal or even receive an apology from someone or recover a situation or even recover a loss. And some of you, it can be that you feel you've lost a part of yourself in some area and you've been feeling really uncertain, or you've been trying to reconnect to things that bring you joy, but it hasn't been hitting in the same way. And I feel this could be that you are rediscovering a way back to self at this time and, you know, kind of learning to love life again. King of Swords, interesting. You're getting the same cards even in a different deck. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide? Sometimes we're called to detach, to heal. Yeah. And for some of you, this could be someone you're thinking about, someone who's on your mind, someone who maybe is detached from you, or maybe not in your life right now. If this person has transitioned and you've been grieving this person, know that this person walks with you. They're still by your side. I just heard, I'd hold your hand if I could. Thanks so much, I'm truly grateful. So this is something that's come through there. So I just feel that this person, they're going to give you lots of signs if they have transitioned, and they're going to leave you little tokens. I'm not seeing anything other than the candy and this. So maybe it's a brand of candy that you're going to see, or there's an advert for it or something, maybe even just a wrapper somewhere random. So please take it as it resonates. But whatever it is that's on your mind, my beautiful Librans, it doesn't have to be a person. It can be a situation that you feel you've had to detach from and see things clearly, because the star is to see. And we've got that King of Swords and the star. So that's you being really organized to see something or plan something, maybe even a vision of what you see for the future, and you just feel like you need to be prepared. I don't see a pitfall here for you. I see a really promising pathway that's going to bring you a lot of joy. Okay, the star is success. It is you aligning with something that you wish for, and you've got that Nine of Cups. So even in another deck, it's like your thoughts are becoming things, and you're going to get the best outcome for your situation, but that may mean change. But I see a lot of you healing right now, either healing your mind, your thoughts, or healing your heart on something. But there is a healing process going on, and you've got to make some decisions about something. And when the moment is right, you'll know. Don't force it. That's what that Two of Swords is about. It's like, okay, sometimes we got to sit with self. We got to contemplate it. You know, if you really think about the Two of Swords, there's a figure sitting, and this is a traditional Rider-Waite Tarot. The figure is sitting with two swords crossed, protecting, okay? And they're blindfolded, which means they are tapping into their intuition. They're not looking with their eyes. They're deciding intuitively to make a decision, okay? And they know that they are about to discover uncharted territory. They're about to make a move. In that card, and if you don't know that card, please look it up online, there is some stepping stones in the water towards a large island in the background. So it can be that you're about to do something that requires a process of stepping stones, because the Four of Wands is a milestone. So there is a process that you will complete, but you will reach your destination. Okay? Trust the process. And if you think about that particular Knight of Swords, there's two swords there. So it can be that the period of thinking about something is upon you, and the swords are now down. In this card, it's like you're prepared, you're ready, and now you're taking action on something that you were thinking about. And of course, nobody said it was going to be easy, but I do see that you will accomplish it, whatever it is. Now, we do have a Two of Pentacles, so this can indicate that some of you, it's like the situation could go either way, but I feel this is about balance for you, okay? This is about adaptability, and again, I feel this energy of like, you can have the best of both worlds, but you need to find that level of harmony. You know, whenever you get a Two of Pentacles, it can indicate that you must like work hard, but also play hard. You know, there always has to be a balance, a yin and yang in life. That's what you're all about, my beautiful Librans. That's why, you know, the scales represent your energy. So I feel right now that there are things developing for you, and they are going to develop in unexpected ways. Something that you may not be able to see right now is going to show up for you, and it's going to make your heart feel joyful. And I would say this Two of Pentacles indicates, yes, there's a flurry of activity. Yes, you are busy, but also I feel like you're cutting out things that are inconstant in your life, whether that's a person, whether that is, you know, a situation that's just not working or not giving back in some way. You know, the Two of Pentacles is basically, I would say, of course, you're juggling commitments, but I also feel like there's a time and a place. And I feel for some of you, you could be like locking onto new projects, or you are like doing a couple of things. One is going to work out better than the other at first, but then they may plateau, for example. You know, the Two of Pentacles is the duality of life, the rhythm of life. And I feel this is about juggling your choices in order to make life run smoothly so that you can fall back in love with your life, but also live your best life. Okay, a lot of you, this is connected to your sense of purpose because of the Judgment card there. So I feel like you're judging a situation, you make your decision, and the King of Cups tells me you love it. Whatever the outcome is, there's a wish delivered and you love it. But also this Judgment card, it means you're having a bit of a wake-up call and you're different. So therefore, you know, when there is change afoot, it requires a different side of you. So I feel something within you has changed right now, and you're adapting to this change. For some of you, it could be that because you have so many cards of duality, that you feel almost like you've got one foot in your old life, but you're also becoming and doing something new. And it just feels like you're trying to adjust and break old habits or patterns, or, you know, sometimes we reach for the quick fix, or we have a go-to pattern that we fall into, but I feel like you're like so fed up of that now, you don't want to do that anymore. Whether that's with a person, situation, or an event, or even yourself. You know, sometimes I get fed up of me when I'm like about to reach for the same thing. I'm like, I've told myself I'm not doing that. And then suddenly I've just automatically gone to do it. And I'm like, I catch myself and I say, nope, I'm not going to do that. And then it's about self-control. So you do have cards here of self-control. So some of you could literally be doing that at this time. But I would say with these two cards, when it comes to self, judge yourself more with compassion. Don't be too harsh on yourself. Sometimes you do tear yourself down and are very critical. You put a lot of pressure on yourself, and I feel like you're doing an awesome job. You should be really proud of yourself, no matter your circumstances. And sometimes life is hard. Sometimes people don't say, hey, you're doing a good job. Sometimes we just know, and you're not looking for validation or someone to pat you on your back, but you want signs or omens from the universe to let you know that you're on the right path. And I can see that you are on the right path, but you're in the midst of making a decision right now, and you may feel it could go either way, but I can see the outcome energy. It's going to be everything you ever wish for. And I feel like you did this, whatever this is. You're strong enough to make those decisions to fulfill your heart. Now, this card often indicates that, there is a fair and gentle outcome, but there's also a respect. So I feel this is you kind of like respecting your own needs, respecting other people as well, and wanting that reciprocal exchange. So whether you have fallen out with a person or a situation, it can be that there will be a balance or a mediation or a coming together in order to work things out, and it will be fair. And you will be respected because you're different and you're not allowing anyone to undervalue you or underestimate you or not appreciate you. So I do feel some shift going on there as well. Now, I'm just going to go and get some final cards before I close your reading. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Great Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Librans? What do they need to know? Okay, so we have the mask. Okay, removing the mask to live the way you are, be your authentic self, live original. What's hidden? We've got the afterlife, which is a loved one trying to contact you through signs, mainly through some sort of like candy or some sort of sweet wrappers. And yeah, I'm just seeing that. I don't want to mention the name of it because, as I said, I'm not here to promote anyone's work, or their brands or anything like that. We got partnership. And we've also got ready to sail, ask questions from your heart, and you'll be answered from the heart. So some of these cards connect to what we were talking about earlier. We have the mask. So this is really about living your truth, making some adjustments, being honest with yourself, what it is that makes you happy. And, when I see this card connected to your energy right now, I don't see you not living your truth. What I see is you're under a lot of pressure and you're holding life all together and you're exhausted and depleted and you're showing up every day and you're saying, I'm fine. Everything's fine. It's all fine. And of course, it is fine because you're dealing with it. You're strong enough. You're a warrior. But also, it's okay to say, you know what? Actually, things are challenging because I feel a lot of people are going through this right now. And I feel this could be that you are literally removing that mask of saying it's fine, saying, actually, you know what? I'm having a crabby day. Things are just like at capacity right now. And I feel this is about owning your truth. But it also says here, what's hidden? Hiding true self. And, there's a word lies there as well. So some of you could be dealing with a person who you feel has lied to you. The truth will always out, always. Okay, so you may be making a judgment about a person who you feel has been a little bit loose with the truth, or perhaps, you've ripped the mask off a situation to really see what it is for what it is. And it could be that you're making a decision now whether you should stay or go. If this is a relationship breaking down, whether it's a friendship or a marriage or a relationship, whether you're engaged or you live with each other, it can be that the trust has been broken and now you get to decide whether you can heal this. I mean, a lot of you, there is a healing energy here, or whether you disband and walk away forever. Maybe this situation just needs a breath, some thinking time to rediscover the heart space, to rediscover, how you really feel about things. Sometimes we need to detach to see what we could be losing in the process of walking away. And that's for the other person too. So I feel, whoever you're dealing with, if they have been dishonest in some way, this is an opportunity for them to take accountability and own with responsibility their actions and their words. So I feel, there will be a healing process, and I feel things can work themselves out, but it is going to be a process, a stepping stone, a set of moments that can lead to that healing. We do have partnership. That's why I'm mentioning this. And of course, as I mentioned earlier about relationships, but it says here, someone will have an incredible impact on your success. power couple, business partnership, alliance. So, I mean, this could also be that if you're in a career or you're wanting to level up, it can be that you're trying to source information. For some of you, this could be overseas. If you want to migrate your life overseas, for example, with the moon card, it can be that the way to do this, the way to structure it in terms of like your tax or your logistics or your visas and all of that, it can be really muddy. It can be like, oh my gosh, there's so many things to think about. You don't want to misstep. I don't see that you will misstep, but you must get someone who is qualified to help you with the structure. So it could be that someone really impacts your life because they have a lot of knowledge that they can impart to help you live your best life. So this could be a really great partnership, someone that can help you navigate through the new structure. Please apply it to your situation. I'm just giving you examples there. We've also got climb up the ladder. Okay. Now, climbing up the ladder, of course, indicates an ascension. So this could be an awakening, a spiritual awakening, or it could be a moment of success. Some of you, it indicates that you are having some movement or improvement. And I did mention that. It says here, promotion, more success, improvement, raise. You're climbing the ladder of success one step at a time. So again, it's this process. Now, of course, this deck is not about career, okay? It's a shamanic deck, and it's about messages from the ancestors. So I feel like, you know, you are elevating in life, and it is a process, and it may feel like it's a slow climb to where you feel like you want to be, but it is a steady one, and you will reach the top, whatever that means for you. For some of you, it could be in health, it could be in success, wealth, it could be in friendships, relationships. But I do see that, you know, it will be successful, but it's a process. Now, we do have afterlife. I did mention about someone giving like a sign through candy and things like that. So look out for those signs. So random, but they may mean nothing to you in this moment. And then suddenly something will remind you when you see it and go, oh my gosh, there's a connection. But it says here, a loved one is connecting and contacting you in waking life through signs. Next life, you're not alone, eternal. Okay, love lives on. So I feel this is an impact that you will have over the next coming weeks and months, of course. And we do have what looks like, you know, a light at the end of the tunnel. So some of you, if you've been going through a very challenging time, I definitely see someone walks with you. Maybe that's what that message was. I'd hold your hand if I could. It can be that, you know, perhaps you have been going through some tough times and things have been a struggle, but you are not alone. And there is like this light at the end of the tunnel. There is respite there. And, you know, there's a lot of unconditional love there too. Now we also have ready to set sail. So, you know, your whole reading was about planning for something or being in fight or flight mode, you know, just ready to move or transform your life in some way. So you're embarking on something here, and it says, go after the opportunities that arise in your life. You are ready, prepared. The time is now, leadership. So you've been thinking about something, and the time to move forward is afoot. So again, it's this energy of getting ready for something and embarking on some sort of journey. It doesn't have to be a physical journey, but whatever this journey is, you're ready and you've got this, and it's going to be so rewarding. And finally, we've got that ask questions from the heart and you shall be answered from the heart. Okay, and it says an American Indian proverb there as well. Okay, so I always say it, you can make a decision with your head, but your heart will always win the day. You'll always return to the heart, okay? We always return to love and what we feel we love in our life, okay? So this is about romancing your life and really locking onto the things that bring you joy at this time. Okay, so I'm just going to get some final trinkets or runes. We've got the cat, which represents independence. Okay, it also indicates that you're locked onto something. I always say little cats, they see the object of their desire and they just kind of lock onto it and they do that little shuffle, that little adjustment before they leap. So a lot of you, it could be that you're in a period of adjustment before you leap on something or before you act on your plans. So I would say this gives you a lot of freedom, whatever this is, okay? And some of you may literally be adopted by a cat, perhaps, but also we have your final rune, which is home, you know, and with that 4 wands, it's like, where is home? Some of you may be leaving home, literally a place, neighborhood, country, or it can be that a person doesn't feel like home anymore, or perhaps you are meeting a person that feels like home. This is basically where you dwell, where you feel like you belong. And, it can also represent a mountain to climb. And I feel like a lot of you have been climbing a bit of a mountain, but the top is in sight and you will reach it. And, I feel there's a lot of good things for you to come, but it took a lot for you to get there. And it will be very rewarding when you sit with self and realize how far you've come, and you'll be really proud of yourself, okay? So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates, my beautiful Librans. May not resonate with everyone, of course, but I have to honor the unique readings that come out. So, I hope it does resonate with someone out there. And thank you so much, and love and light.